The Dom Life Podcast presents Real Talk,
a BDSM Back to Basics mini-series intended for listeners 18 and older.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode
of Real Talk Back to Basics.
Yep. Tonight, we're going to talk about kinky ways when you're apart.
Really? Is this even possible?
It can be. If you have a creative imagination, it comes in real handy.
Yeah.
Now, this is one of the categories that I struggle with a little bit. I have ideas, and I have come up with ideas.
We've done a couple of these.
We've done a few of them. But again, it's something that I struggle with to just come up off the top of my head of things to do. You know, I've heard other people do stuff. I've read about stuff, and I can take, a simple idea from somebody else and build on it. But sometimes it's hard for me to just come off my head with something new, something different, something unique, to try to keep the kinkiness there, although we're not together. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of our past experiences while doing it. And
yes.
we have a few others that we may or may not have done in the past. So we're going to start off with, you see each other every night.
Yes.
But you're away from each other during the day, whether one of you works or both of you works. And this day and time, of course, with cell phones, it is really easy to stay in touch, to share those kinky thoughts, to kind of as a dominant to get those pictures that you may want sent to you or something like that. So
you basically spend the whole day apart, but with the phone, you're texting.
Right.
There's always some communication.
Yes, there is.
Even if you're not allowed to have phones except during your breaks, you typically send a hey message, how are you doing? So there are ways to incorporate kinky stuff into that, which we've done before.
We have. One of the things that I know that I've asked you to do during the day, I've asked you to go insert a butt plug.
Yes, you have.
And there at one time, it was quite often. I was asking you to go. You had your own little personal kit that you had everything put together and organized and ready to go.
Yes.
I remember one time I asked you at your earliest convenience. I think it was you've got a break and you went somewheres. And, but I had asked you to masturbate.
And
I wanted you to orgasm.
Yes, sir.
I gave you permission. You can orgasm. But I wanted you to send a picture of the proof that you had masturbated. I didn't want a picture of you masturbating.
Right. You weren't asking for a video. You wanted proof.
I wanted pictures of your hands when you was done.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to see how excited you got when you was completely alone by yourself.
And it's those mental commands that get you turned on, especially when you're submissive.
Right.
There's also been times when you've selected my underwear and said, this is what I want you to wear today.
You can do that unless you was wearing a dress that day.
Unless I was wearing a dress that day, which we all know what the rule is with Master Nick. And, didn't you catch somebody at the
I've caught a few people at the club that have said they were going to follow my rules. but didn't follow my rules. However, they're not my submissives. So
But it's still fun.
it's still fun to check and to give the dom eyes when you catch them breaking one of my rules. I can't punish them. I can't do any of that stuff, but it is fun to just kind of taunt them a little bit of why are those on there?
Right. So we're talking like the daily ideas to keep things hot and
Yep.
fresh. So once you have the underwear on me that you picked out and I spend the day in them, I'm thinking about you every time because they're on me.
Right.
And then asking for a picture, right? Hey, send me a picture of those sexy underwear that I asked you to wear.
Yep. There was one time I just wanted pictures. I told you to be creative. Send me some pictures. So you actually took a marker.
I
remember this because it's actually kind of a funny story. You wrote Master Nick's and had an arrow pointing up towards you and took a picture.
Uh-huh.
The only problem was when you took a picture, it was backwards.
Uh-huh.
So then you went and erased all the marker off of you. You washed all of it off.
Yes,
and
I
then
did.
wrote it backwards so that it would show up correct in the picture. So you actually done that twice. It was like a pretty big event of getting all that done. But it was me giving you a task, and you had fun with it. I didn't tell you what to do. I didn't tell you. I want a picture. I want you to be creative, and that was what you had come up with, and it was that was a great treat.
There was another time that I went shopping with a girlfriend, and we went to a sex store.
Yep.
And we were looking for outfits or something. I can't even remember exactly what, but you said, I want pictures of everything you try on.
Absolutely.
And so there was some lingerie pics I was sending you.
Yes. I think there was like a nurse's outfit or something like that.
Yeah, there were a couple of different
you've got
things.
the maid's outfit already.
I do.
You've got it. So yeah, there was a few costume outfits and several lingerie pictures. Some ideas that others can do. I know we don't really do it. Chris and Mandy actually talked about it when we had them on our podcast. They send each other porn clips. They watch porn and what they like, and maybe there's a scene that kind of interests them or they fantasize about, so they will send a clip of that porn to the other person for them to watch. So they're back and forth sending porn, which of course, for most people, porn really gets you turned on and kind of gets you thinking about all the naughty little stuff you'd like to do. So that is a great idea.
Your voice is a turn on for me, and most partners feel that way. Not all, but
Right.
Your voice is very sexy. So if you recorded a clip that gave me a task and then sent that to me, I'd have your audio, your actual voice telling me what to do.
Hold on. I got to write that down. So put that one back and save it a few weeks and hope you forget. You give me the idea.
Another one is writing a steamy note. I write you notes every morning.
Yes, you do.
Forgot this morning, but
Yes, you did.
I write you notes and I can make them very steamy.
Yes, there's been a few times that you've added, it wasn't a whole steamy note, but it was, here's this, here's that. And then there towards the end, some little something of a fantasy or something that you was thinking about.
Right. And that just takes you. So then you're at work already by the time you read it, and you're reading that while you're at work going, ooh, that sounds fun.
That is the first thing I do. When I get to work, I put my food in the refrigerator. I go to my desk. First thing that comes out is the note.
Now, are you still keeping a stack of them? Or?
Yeah, I've got every one of them. I'm running out of room to put them.
There's so many.
Well, there's 5 years worth.
You should bring them home and we can do a shredding.
Almost 6 years worth.
It's almost 6 years worth.
That's a lot of paper. Granted, I don't have one for every day.
No, because Saturdays and Sundays.
No, and because of the days you forget.
It's not very often,
It
but
isn't.
it's crazy when you get up so early to remember everything. And yes, I deserved a punishment for that one.
Yes.
The big thing is making sure that you're touching base with each other about sex.
Yep.
So sexting is the word that's used that covers a huge category.
Yes. An example for sexting, and sexting is different from one couple to the next. But it could be anything about sex, sexy time, fantasies. But if you're a dominant, run a scenario through your head and text out what you would like to do to your submissive, or what position would you like to put them in.
Ooh, and then ask for a picture.
Yes. Now that used to be long, long ago. That used to be one of your tasks. Every morning you had to send me a good morning master text with a picture. And it was a different pose. Some days you were naked, some days you had partial clothes on, some days you were fully clothed.
But I think wasn't that when you were working and out of the house before me?
Yes.
Like you were out so early and I was still home a couple of hours.
Right. And then when my schedule changed, it was hard for you to take a picture because I was here.
You were here.
So,
and you take longer in the bathroom than me in the mornings.
I love my showers. That's what gets me going.
I'll tell you what gets you going.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit. Let's kind of switch gears here a little bit. So we're talking about seeing each other every night, just being away from the day. Let's talk about some things you can do when one person maybe is on a business trip or on a girl's weekend
or travel for work every week.
Yep, for something like that, where you have more time by yourself to venture out and to do stuff. One thing that I would probably really like, and it would be something you could either do on your own or it could be a task assigned to you. I love you in high heels. So go to the mall, go to a shoe store, just try on all the shoes, pick some out, take pictures. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to buy them all. Right. But take pictures of you in those high heels, because I do have a little bit of a foot fetish. I'm not real big in feet, but if you've got sexy feet, I want to see them. And you slap a pair of sexy feet in high heels, I definitely want to see them. Right. So, that could be an idea for being away for more than one day. What else could they do? Oh, no. No, they can't do that. That would be just totally inappropriate. No, it wouldn't. I mean, pull up the video chat. Pull up the video chat. Ooh. While one of you is at home and one of you is at the hotel. Mm-hmm. You see this a lot in movies. Our friends do it. Yes, or our friends used to do it before they. Yep. Pull up the video chat. Start undressing yourself. Start touching yourself while looking at your partner in the phone while they do the exact same thing. Yes. And for the dominant submissive, it could be me telling you, take off your shirt. Play with your boobs, play with your clit. It could be me telling you, right? But you're also seeing me touch and pleasure myself as well at the same time. Yeah. That would be pretty hot. It would be most definitely hot. I think that those are all really good ideas. Now, we did have a time where we played with a vibrator that was attached to an app. Yep.
and the app controlled it on one phone.
Yes.
There were some issues.
We had some technical difficulties with art. I think they were the very first ones to come out.
Right.
And the minute I found out about
you would
it,
lose
we had to get
connectivity.
Yeah. I would be using my thumb to make it vibrate,
and
then
you could change how it vibrates.
Yeah,
like
and it would say lost connection, and then we're just sitting there.
waiting
you're
for
naked.
it to
You're naked with a vibrator in you, and I'm staring at my phone like a monkey doing a math problem, trying to make the damn thing reconnect.
They've probably gotten better.
They should be up to about the 5th or 6th generation on them things by now.
We need one of those, maybe.
We need to. So if you are a sex store where you sell sex toys, and you would like for us to review such toy, feel free to reach out to us. We'll get it. We'll test it out.
We'll do a lot of testing.
I think I've got a couple work trips coming up, and we could actually put it to the test. I could be in a total different state, and we could test that out for you. So just hit us up. We'll give you a review.
And we've really talked about some other things like using the online to like FetLife.
Yes.
To talk about the different areas that you're interested in.
Yep.
And if you're traveling in a part, it's a little bit easier to tag those things that you might not be able to discuss in person.
Right. Yep. That was one of the things that we done when we first got together, because that is one good thing about FetLife. There is fetishes out there you've never even heard of.
Right.
But the minute you look at it and you research it, and you're like, ooh, I'm getting a little curious here. Maybe I would like to try that. And you can classify it as interested in or like or dislike.
Right.
So you can actually
think it actually says want it done to you. Wasn't there like the categories broken up like I want it done to me, want to do it.
Want to do it to somebody else. So they've got all these filters that you can put on thousands upon thousands of fetishes to where you can set and categorize what you're interested in having done to you, what you're interested in having done to somebody else or watching. That if you're not on FetLife, I'd recommend checking it out, because there is a lot of good stuff on there
for research
and especially if you're not good at communicating. And then even for me, I get on there out of curiosity, just what new fetishes are out there now, because it's like they come out every day.
Yes. And I think that you can carry that onto your sexting, your phone, because you could say, here's what I'm going to do. Throughout the day, I'm going to send a one word or a one topic thing, and you answer yes, no, or maybe, and we can maybe find some new things that we want to play with.
Right. So let's say you are kinky.
What?
Maybe not the dominant submissive way, but maybe you're a swinger. Maybe you're into hot wife or cuckold, or any of that stuff. So another little idea that you could do is, depending on your relationship and your agreements and what you're allowed to do, but maybe go sit at a bar. Go find just a local bar. Go sit at the bar by yourself and send a picture of the first person that flirts with you or that comes up and wants to talk to you. Take a picture with them, send that to your partner. Depending on how your lifestyle is, maybe you're a swinger and you've got free reins to do anything and everything. Hook up with somebody at the bar, go back, do whatever you're allowed to do, and then video chat and tell your partner what you've done. There is hundreds of ways to be kinky when you're not together. And by doing this, it does keep your relationship fresh. It does keep it from getting into the after honeymoon phase where things kind of get stale and maybe get boring. But if you are in a dominant submissive relationship, it really don't get boring or stale too often.
Not in our world.
But we could have other listeners who are not dominant or submissive, so we're trying to give them some ideas too.
This is what we do.
This is what we do. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure and come back Sunday for our next full episode. We're continuing our interview with Bear, and we will be back next week for another episode of Real Talk.
Thank you for joining us.